Hello, everyone. Welcome to this channel. My name is Ruben Rodriguez. I am 53 years old, soon to be 54 at the end of this month. And I am starting officially my second act. Kind of weird thinking about it that way, but I'm going to document it. I am going to commit to doing this on a weekly basis, touch base, connect, gather from anyone who is willing to participate and who's actually doing this and actually wanting more and not just coasting or floating and really wanting to fulfill everything and not have any regrets. Regrets are okay, when you make a mistake and you want to make sure that you don't stumble on the same pebble of sorts, right? But you also want to make sure that, at least I do, that I want to make sure that I don't look back as I have thus far, sometimes thinking, why didn't I do this? Or why didn't I push myself more? Or why didn't I just trust in my drive and trust in my talents and trust in everything that I understood and dreamt that I could do? And I never did. And I don't want to do that anymore, specifically because I feel better than I've ever felt in my whole life, almost at 54. And I still have a long way to go, in my opinion. And I want to make sure that I do everything that I can to accomplish that. So I am going to document and I'm going to be here with you every week for at least 1 year. That's my goal. And I want to make sure that everything that I have done in my life, 20 years in the hospitality industry as a sales and marketing leader, almost 10 years as a performing artist, singing and with live bands, almost 13 years as a Zumba instructor after I decided to switch it up and take care of my body and my life and impacting people on a daily basis. I think there's more. I think there's more to continue to do those things instead of thinking that I have to coast now because of my age or because of things that I stopped dreaming about. Confirmations that I received when I was very young that I was going to be able to do and accomplish, but everything else in life remained getting in the way. So, reinventing yourselves or myself at this age, it's not that I am just making a change for the shift and mere fact of making it, but rather having that constant feeling and need to evolve and to have purpose and to really exhaust everything that I have in myself, within myself, to give to others. And it happens everywhere. It happens in relationships, it happens in career, it happens in the way that I see myself and the way that I want to be remembered, not necessarily for being famous. That's not important to me. It's about what was my legacy? What is that someone like me, someone from Puerto Rico, someone from the LGBTQ community, someone from the corporate world that really wants to do so much more creatively, and there's many projects and things that I have that I would love to have you join me and see if that is also a muse for myself and it's a muse for you. And soon enough we'll know what my second act is going to be like. There's no outcome already laid out for me. There's no real vision of what everything will look like. But what I do know is that I am not going to coast, that I am not going to settle, that I am not going to not make people like me not be part of it, because it could really light a fire in somebody else's life to do something, to do more, to get more, to accomplish more, to feel more. So I'll have you join me, hopefully, for the long run, and we can discuss everything that we want together. There's a particular saying that I was taught by somebody that I used to work with. She used to report to me at a direct supervisory level, and we were having a little bit of conflict between us. And she let me know that she very well knew that you lead, you follow, or you get out of the way. And recently in my life, I've had to deal with that at the career level. Somebody that used to report to me taught me a very huge lesson, because at that point in time, she was not able to follow my lead. And for good reason. I was not perfect. I was not doing things perhaps in a way that suited everyone within the team that I was leading. And it was a very strong lesson for me to learn. And it was a strong awakening of sorts. And I would love to do that within my life to recognize where I'm going in the right path and what I'm following. And I'm being the leader, am I being the follower? Or should I just get out of that path, get off of it, so that I can really embark either following the right vision and direction, following the right leadership, or being the leader for the right group of people, or just stepping off, getting out of the way, because our paths are to be followed, or are to be led, or are to be not even taken, not even thinking about those paths and wasting our times and wasting our own talents and abilities. So, without further ado, this is the beginning of a great path. I'm going to have, hopefully, content that will allow us to grow together in building our second act for those of us. So if you're in your late 30s, 40s, getting into your 50s, like me, I will welcome you to join me and to be part of this together. There's going to be a lot of ideas that are going to be floating around, and not all of them are going to get accomplished. Not all of them are going to be fulfilled. But the journey together, I think, is going to be a lot more fun. I think it's going to be a lot more fruitful. It's going to really be a lot more enlightening to all of us that are just not giving up and not becoming a stereotype. Um, all the other generations that are coming behind us are doing things so much differently. The young people, how they think and what they argue or what they contest or what they stand against or what they are doing differently, and making us feel like we don't know what we're talking about, or we're telling them that they don't know what they're talking about. I think we do have a lot more to grow together as generations come along, and how we want to really finish our last laps. I mean, I don't plan to finish my laps anytime soon. So I have been blessed and privileged to have love, care, family, friends in many stages and in many aspects. And I have seen rock bottom, like all of us have. But the second act is truly my responsibility. So I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that my second act is the best. And I hope that you want yours to be the best too. And I would welcome your spirit, your ideas, your contributions. and be my muse, because I think this is an opportunity for us to, um, and for myself, without being too selfish, to to really give something back. And my reinvention, along with yours, could possibly help a lot of people. And where we're living right now in the world that we are, um, walking through together, I think needs it. So, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week. Thank you.